Hello. I think today I wanted to talk about what's what's the plan? Who am I? I feel like I've been making just a bunch of videos about things that I'm learning, things that I'm figuring out and stuff. But at some point I kind of just had to start like I don't think anyone really knows what's up with me, like what's going on with me. So, wow, talking about yourself is a lot harder than I thought. Anyways, I'm Victor. I'm a musician that lives out in Long Beach, California currently. And my dream has always been to just make art, specifically music, 'cause I think that's kind of what comes to me very easily. That's like my craft. This feeling that I would get when I was very little and I would hear music and stuff that really moved me, that of things that I've cried to, stuff without lyrics even, that I've like been very moved by. Songs from my favorite artists where like I would imagine myself on stage singing along as the lead singer. I've always just held just very firmly somewhere deep inside me onto that dream. And when I was like, I think freshly 18, I'm 30 now. That's around the time I think I started to take it pretty seriously. Like I downloaded software to like properly record myself, and I just really sunk my teeth into researching and trying things out and failing and making things every day if I could. I would say that's like really when it all began, was 18. But I started making like little fun things and demos and throughout high school and stuff, messing around. But I think I've never quite had the confidence to pursue it like for realsies. And even now that I've hit this age, I don't think I can confidently say that I've ever had like like a very serious go at it. Like I don't think I've ever had like, yeah, I gave it my all. I failed, it didn't work out for me, and so now here we are. So what does this all mean? Like, does that mean that I've given up on it? Does that mean like it's not meant for me? Not necessarily. See, I think that your dreams, they're kind of like downloads from the universe. Like you don't come up with your dreams. They come to you from some sort of higher source, I feel anyways. And they get programmed into you as things that you want, as things that you should pursue. The way to get there, you know, might not be the way that you think you're going to get there, but they don't come from you. They come from like a higher source, I think. So that's how I see my dream. And I think I'd always like, because I had no confidence in my dream, I'd get to a certain point of like, I grind, and then inevitably something would happen, something goes wrong. I get distracted by other things or other people, start pursuing different things. I lose confidence, and it's rooted in a lot of things. When I was younger, I just was like, I just didn't feel good about myself. I had acne, really poor habits, out of shape, very shy. I think around 17, 18, I started to break out of that shyness one at the very least, and I did recognize like the benefit of getting out there and trying things that scared me. Continuing to try things that scared me was a very good thing. I think that's one thing I don't regret doing when I was younger, because whenever I would pursue things that scared me, you get this very fast reward from the universe. You pursue things that scare you, and it's like, good job. You didn't want to do this. You knew you had to, and so here's the immediate results. We're going to give them to you. But, I have been into this game a little bit over a decade now, and that expands. I matured. I have extra goals now, different goals now, some that don't necessarily involve only me. I'd like a wife, I'd like a family, I'd like a nice house, I'd like to make money. I'd like to get to the point where I can give back in any way that I can. I think so far maybe posting these videos and hopefully it helps someone out, that's a little bit of that. But I'm also thinking like monetary and other types of things. I'd like to live somewhere cool. I'd love to be able to, of course, make myself happy through that thing I talked about, where I want to make art that really touches people and moves them in a way that it did for me. And I think music just ended up being my thing because it really has pulled me through every single emotion in my life, my toughest times, my best times. And it just kind of was like what I was gifted with. I was self-taught, got into the recording game self-taught, got into the playing game self-taught, got into the performing game self-taught. And so I think I was just programmed that way. And as much as I also like, drawing and video editing and other ventures, too many ventures actually, really. Sometimes I fear that because I like doing too many things, I'm too interested in too many things, I will like inundate my brain with too much noise. So I'm learning things where it's just like, really, you need to be learning like top 10 Photoshop skills that you can use for a company logo right now. And you should be like, hey, I thought you were a musician, no? But here I am learning this. Or on the other end, because I picked up too many skills, it's like, I wonder how much better I could have been at like anything that was relevant to what I actually want to do, which is music. So I think that's kind of like the overall summary. And it hasn't been all bad. It hasn't been all unsuccessful, One thing I'm super grateful for is that I have enough fans / listeners or whatever that I've made a little bit of money with it. I've gotten paid out from streaming services of all things, and it's kind of like I don't know anyone else in person who has made. I mean, it's been like a couple thousand now over like the past 2 or 3 years. I don't know anyone who's made money from streaming, from my musician friends. That's insane to me, and I'll forever be grateful because, I don't know if anyone that listens to my music watches this stuff, but like, man, you guys have saved my bacon so many times. But in any case, it's kind of like, let's be real simple. Okay, are you still interested in doing this? Yes, no. Yes. If I say no, I'm lying. I'm lying to myself. Okay, cool. What about all this other stuff? You have people that you need to support. You have responsibilities. You have, other things you got to take care of, such as your health, your car, where you live. You pay bills. Those are all still important too. You could technically neglect those. That's kind of what I did for my 20s, was neglect a lot of those in order to pursue this. Would that be wise? Oh, well, no. So, same as to why I would keep failing at the music thing, right? The no confidence thing. I didn't believe in myself, really, thing. And now we're introducing all these other factors, but it's the same formula. Because I didn't have any confidence or love for myself really deep down. Same as all the other responsibilities and stuff that I would neglect. Eventually, the music pillar, the one that I'm talking about in this video, the music one, would also crash, and I've had so many of those crashes that finally it was like, okay, I gotta figure this out. I gotta grow the hell up, decide really what it is I want to do. Don't drive on both sides of the road. Figure out what you want to do, and where do we go from here? Okay, so about a year ago, and I'll try to summarize this as quick as I can because this is probably a whole other video. About a year ago, I decided to start what I call really building my discipline. And I'll tick it up a notch. In that year of my year journey, I accomplished quite a few things. Like there's a crazy amount of weight that I lost. I got, like, compared to before, pretty in shape. Started eating better, started making way more money, moved out of my parents' house. That was awesome. And I have just little things here and there, like my relationships and stuff, whether it was family, friends, girlfriend, freaking acquaintances. I just started handling those a lot better, and those also improved naturally. Cool. But here we are now a year in, and it's kind of like, all right, you've made progress, and now it's kind of like I feel the universe going, and what else? So it's like, all right, I hear you. I hear you hissing at me, universe. Okay, cool. So kind of like when when you work out and you really love an exercise and then you get really good at it, yeah, but then the same amount of like reps and stuff, like it doesn't quite cut the mustard anymore, right? Like it's like, dang, like this is so easy now. And then because it becomes easy, you stop making progress. And when you really should have, like, hey dude, like up the reps or up the weight or change something. So I have that tendency to get real comfortable with everything else. I grow and I'm able to handle more, but then I get stuck because I get too comfortable. And it's like okay, like come on, like add more weight, add more something to like increase that tolerance for the stuff that you would want to do or the stuff that you should be handling, your responsibilities. So recently I was introduced to the idea of planting a seed in your mind. The idea is that the brain is kind of like soil. It will very neutrally grow whatever thoughts you plant into it. So for me, the reason I'm on this journey, this pursuit of obtaining discipline, is because I believe the person that is the most disciplined can accomplish anything they want in this world. So for me, the seed that I planted in my head is that I just want to be the most disciplined version of myself, the 100% me that I can be. That's the seed that I tend to and water every day. And it sucks because sometimes you do like, man, like I really want to be up on a stage, which would be like step 9 or 10, for this kind of thing. It's just like, okay, how do the basics look though? Like, is your room tidy? Did you make enough money today? Right? Did you eat healthy today? Because that's also part of your discipline seed, right? You want to be like sharp on all four corners, right? Like, how's your health doing? How's your finances? Your relationships, your happiness with yourself? Are you giving back? How are all those doing? Because if you can't handle even those things, I mean, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So don't be thinking about, step 9, 10, 11, 12, unless you got a handle on all these. And it's like, all right, you're right. Shoot. So here's kind of where we're at, right? Music. Deja vu, huh? Yes. Okay. When does that come in? Well, I think little by little. First, I'm trying to create. My days are so packed that I think I'm trying to create with as much as I can with as little as I'm allotted. So, I did reintroduce just practicing every day, my music stuff, but overall, it's still just set on the discipline, which is, I think, for me, rooted in 3 things so far. What am I sacrificing? Because progress is made by removing things. So I will currently focus on 3 things, which is like exercising, because when I work out, when I exercise, when I get my blood pumping, I get much better thoughts and I'm way more confident throughout the day. No denial. There's no beating around the bush for that one. My food intake, if I start eating like a glutton, like how I used to, versus like whole healthy foods within how I'm supposed to be eating every day, also goes to shit real fast. Because for me, food was a big vice that I would turn to when things went wrong. If I was stressed out or things were not going my way, right away it's like, bust out the cookies, I'm gonna eat an entire case of Thin Mints, here we go. And pursuing those vices like that when things aren't going your way, that's a real fast road to just not feeling confident about yourself, and things just collapse. The third thing is just, how early am I waking up? Is it about hustle culture, sleeping 3 hours a day? There's no way. But are you waking up at an early enough hour to be productive, and you're just like at right over that edge of like right past comfortable amount of sleep, with the intent of sacrificing for the universe, for God? Yeah, okay, cool. That's it. Keep it that simple. But anyways, I think I wanted just to make like who am I? Where am I at? Not literally, just where am I at in this journey on life. I wanted to just, I think, get that on camera. And where am I going? Where am I going is to become the most disciplined version of myself. Why? Because that's the person, that version of me is going to be the one that can do anything. Because I'm here, I want to fire on all cylinders, man. I want everything. I want to be able to do music for a living. I want to have a nice house. I want to have like a lovely family. I want to be able to have all these great things. And who I was before, with no confidence, kind of just like hinging everything into my strengths, that pillar of like, I know music, I did everything myself. That did me no good before. So rather than that, the goal is to build that strong foundation of someone who can do anything and do all that and more. But that's it. We'll see where the next video leads us. Usually I've been recording so much about what I've been learning, my wisdom and quotes and things that I pick up, I thought it was appropriate to just talk a little bit about myself for whatever reason. And it's funny, I bet you could go back to my older videos on this channel and just see the remarkable difference from today compared to a year ago. But anyways, that'll do it. See you guys on the next one.